Today on our kidney-friendly menu, we are making a roasted veggie plant-based bowl. Again, it's super easy ingredients that are very versatile. You can always change up the veggies that you use, the dressing that you make, the grain or the legume that you use. And we're using canned chickpeas, we're using frozen veggies so that it can be super easy. And the other perk is you can make this in bulk and then you can have leftovers throughout the week. So first thing we want to do is roast our vegetables. So you want to preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to use a bag of frozen cauliflower. Benefits of this, I don't have to wash and chop it. And for people that do have a potassium restriction, a lot of frozen veggies, especially things like broccoli and cauliflower, they're oftentimes blanched before they're frozen, so they can be even lower in potassium. So I'm just going to add all of this to a bowl. And then I drained and rinsed a can of chickpeas ahead of time. So these are low sodium canned chickpeas. I drained and rinsed to lower the sodium content even more. Add that there. And the other thing to be mindful of, so with canned legumes and canned beans, if it says low sodium, it has to be 140 milligrams or less of sodium per serving. This is from Trader Joe's. It just says organic garbanzo beans made with sea salt. It doesn't have a label with low sodium, but it's 130 milligrams of sodium per serving. So technically is low in sodium. And then we remove even more of that sodium with draining and rinsing it. So I have my cauliflower and my chickpeas. I'm going to add some, you can do either extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil, about a tablespoon. I like to do avocado oil for roasting veggies. And then whatever seasoning you want. So I really am on a curry powder kick right now. So I'm going to do about a teaspoon of curry powder. This is a salt-free curry powder. Most are, but you can always check the label. But there's no sodium in this. So I'm just going to sprinkle this over here. And then you can also add, if you want to add pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, you can add any of that to it as well. So I'm just keeping it simple, giving it a stir. And then it's going to go on my sheet pan on parchment paper. I always like to use a little bit bigger sheet pan. That way I can spread the veggies and the garbanzo beans out evenly. And then that way they can get hopefully a little bit crispy in the oven. Right, so again, oven's at 400 degrees and we're going to pop this in. Set your timer. Every oven is different. I like to start with 20 minutes and then give it a stir. Sometimes I go up to about 30 minutes for roasting legumes and veggies, but it really depends on the veggie that you're using. So of course, the other thing too is that you can serve this over a salad or you could do it over a grain. It could be a rice, it could be a millet, quinoa, barley, whatever you want. I have cooking over here already. I had gone shopping at Trader Joe's. So this is a harvest blend. It's basically just a blend of couscous, orzo, quinoa. It is low in potassium, 100 milligrams per serving. So I am making this and then I am making it in bulk so that I can store it in the fridge for a couple days and then use leftovers. So now let's make a dressing. So you can always just use seasoning, lemon juice, hot sauce, things like that. But sometimes it's fun to make a little dressing too. So first thing, I'm starting off with a few tablespoons of a yogurt. You can use a plain unsweetened yogurt, whether it's regular yogurt or a plant-based yogurt like a cashew, an almond milk, or a coconut yogurt. You really just want to make sure it's plain, unsweetened, and there's no phosphorus additives in the ingredient list. Next thing, I'm going to squeeze anywhere from a quarter to a half of a lemon. You could do lime too, but I'm doing lemon. Squeeze that in there. And then I'm going to do a clove of garlic that's minced up. You could always do garlic powder if you don't have actual garlic. So 1 clove of garlic directly into there. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of some white wine vinegar. You could use whatever vinegar you want. And I'm going to do about a tablespoon of that. And then the next thing is seasoning. So you can add, again, onion powder, garlic powder, whatever you want. I'm going to stick with just pepper and a little sprinkle of salt. The perk of making this dish at home is that a dressing, if you were to buy like a dressing in the store, that would be a ton of added sodium. You have the control because you're cooking this at home. So we'll mix this up, keep it to the side, and then this dressing will make, usually 1 to 2 servings, depending on your portion, how much you serve up of the bowl. But nice creamy dressing. It's going to be really good going over like a curry type of bowl. And so once that's all done cooking, then we'll make our bowls. Our veggies have been in the oven for 20 minutes, so let's check them out. All right, so you're going to want to give them a stir. And honestly, the thing is if you were in a real time crunch, these would be done right now. You could see the cauliflower starting to get a little bit crispy. The chickpeas, obviously they were already cooked, so you could pull it out now. I'm going to go for another 10 minutes because I want them to get even crispier. And you could see the nice turmeric color from the curry powder. So let's put it in for another 10 minutes. After 10 more minutes, our roasted chickpeas and cauliflower are done. You can see the chickpeas have gotten nice and crispy, and the cauliflower, again, which was frozen, we didn't have to wash and chop, has a little crisp to it. Before we build our bowl with that, I just wanted to show you. So again, our dressing's done. The dressing, I measured it out, makes 4 tablespoons total. So 1 serving would be about 2 tablespoons. And wait till the end of the video. I'm going to give you all the nutrition information as we build this bowl. Okay, so let's go ahead and serve up our dish. So obviously get a bowl, and the first thing we're going to do is add about a half a cup of your whole grain. You could do salad greens instead. You might need a little more grain depending on your needs, but I'm going to do about a half a cup of my whole grain. Then you're going to do 1.5 heaping cups of the chickpea cauliflower roasted medley, and you're going to add that directly on top of your whole grain. Perk of this is that you really get to eat a big filling portion. So next we're going to add the yogurt sauce that we made. So 1 serving is about 2 tablespoons, and you can drizzle that on top. It actually is a pretty decent portion of a dressing to go over it as well. And because I like things spicy, I'm going to sprinkle some red chili flakes on top. You could do hot sauce instead, but I think red chili flakes go really well with the curry powder and the yogurt. And enjoy. Okay, so you see we have our bowl now. Give it a mix and get all that yogurt dressing mixed in. Other things, again, I'm always a fan of adding hot sauce to things. I'm sure you can tell that by now. The yogurt with the curry powder combo is awesome. Really good flavor. It's got tanginess from the vinegar and the lemon. Again, I did this over a whole grain, lower potassium whole grains. Again, you could do brown rice, you could do white rice, it's just lower in fiber. Millet, barley, farro are all good options. Wild rice, quinoa is going to be a little bit higher in potassium, but still an option. And you could also do it over some salad greens and make a salad, and it would be lower in overall carbs. Super tasty. You would never know that that was made with frozen cauliflower. So for the nutrition information, so I like to break this up because of course you can adjust based on your needs. The yogurt dressing, and I did the nutrient analysis for this using a regular whole fat cow's milk yogurt, because the plant yogurts are going to typically be lower in potassium, lower in protein. So I wanted to give you at least the higher end of what it could be. But for only a 2 tablespoon portion, which is 1 serving, it's 31 calories, 1.5 grams of protein. If you added a pinch of salt, it could be up to about 150 milligrams of sodium. If you didn't add any salt, then it would be about 15 to 20 milligrams of sodium. It's 91 milligrams of potassium and 4 grams of carbohydrates, 0 grams of fiber, and 37 milligrams of phosphorus. So a very small amount for all of those things. Now, the chickpea and cauliflower roasted sheet pan that we did, that makes 2 servings. 1 serving is 1.5 cups, and those are heaping cups. It makes a good portion. So 1 serving is 275 calories, 12 grams of protein, 36 grams of carbohydrates, 12 grams of fiber, 50 milligrams of sodium, 496 milligrams of potassium, and 168 milligrams of phosphorus. So even the potassium content and even the phosphorus of both the chickpea cauliflower mixture with the yogurt, there's plenty of room to do it over a grain, or if you do it over a salad, there's lots of room potassium wise. So you can get all the details for the recipe in the notes section of this video, but make sure to share with your friends, family, subscribe, watch my other videos. All of this is for people with kidney disease, people at risk of kidney disease, and helping you learn how to make more kidney-friendly, kidney-protective recipes that are plant-based but taste good and take into account kidney-specific nutrients like potassium, phosphorus, sodium, protein, and more. So thanks for joining me, guys.